Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is actually September 9th and it is actually my birthday. I meant to film this over the weekend, but I didn't get to it. Here we are. It's Wednesday. I'm finally going to film it. So kind of worked out that I'm actually coming to you on my actual birthday. So I have compiled a long list of 33 facts about me, or just 33 things about me. A few of them are questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram stories or just in person. And so let's just jump right into it. Okay. Number one, my name is Kristina, obviously. And my mom's name was Karen, and she picked my name because she wanted us to both have names that started with a K. Originally, my name was actually supposed to be Kelly. But at the last minute, my dad decided he really didn't like that name, and so she picked Kristina with a K. Side fact, if I had been a boy, my name would have been Daniel. Good thing I'm a girl. Number two, I was born in Massachusetts. I currently live in South Carolina. This is where I'm going to live out my days. Well, my working years. I might retire somewhere else, but this is where I'm going to be. Oh, for the next, say, probably 20 or 30 years. So, I mean, things could always change, I suppose. But I did come from Massachusetts. I lived there till I was 27. Okay. Number three. Obviously, my birthday is September 9th. Okay. I was born at 7:42 p.m. And I only weighed 3 pounds, 12 ounces. I was not really that early. I was only like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks early. But I was completely healthy. This was the 80s, and so my mom, I think she may have still maybe smoked cigarettes a little bit when she was pregnant with me, and so I just was very small when I came out, but I was perfectly healthy. Number four, my birthday makes me a Virgo, and I am definitely a Virgo. I am a very, very organized person by nature. However, I feel like I'm always in the midst of chaos, and I really would love to change that, but I am a Virgo, and I am definitely a Virgo through and through. Okay. Number five. I don't really have a favorite color. It changes all the time, honestly, so I can't really land on a color, but I can tell you a color scheme. I'm a very big fan of black and white mixed with earthy tones. So any sort of variation of that at any point in time is probably my favorite. Okay, so my first pet growing up, my first significant pet was a ferret. I can't tell you his name because that's one of my security questions for like every website ever. But he lived to be like 7 or 8 years old. He ended up getting some kind of like pituitary gland cancer, and when I was in high school, we had to put him down. And so that was very sad. Before that, I had like an array of like hamsters and fish. But this ferret was like a really big deal to me. He was like my everything. I was not allowed to have a cat or a dog because I grew up in an apartment on welfare, basically, you know. So, yeah, all we were allowed to have was like caged animals. So, ferret it was. All right. Number 7. I played the clarinet in school. That was my instrument of choice. I rather loved it a lot, but I gave it up in high school because I thought band was lame. And in fact, it was not lame. It was pretty fun, and I wish I had stuck with it. But nonetheless, I did not grow up to be any kind of orchestra player. So, orchestra, what do you say? Orchestra what? Anyway, number 8, I had my tonsils out in 5th grade. I used to talk very different. I have kind of like a deeper voice, and I think it's just because of that issue that I had when I was a kid. But yeah, I had really big tonsils, and I had to have them out in 5th grade, and my life has been better ever since. Number 9, the first time I ever flew, I was 11, and I flew to Virginia. I've flown a few times since then. It's terrifying, but I realized the convenience of it, and I do always pick a window seat. And I watch when we take off. I watch the ground get further away. I love to look out the window and look at just everything. I'm just as scared as I am of it. I feel like I'm more scared if I can't see what's going on. So, okay, number 10. I have always really loved math and writing. Those are my two favorite subjects in school. Granted, I do love science a whole lot. But like from the very beginning when I was a little kid, like I was always very good at math. I wouldn't say it's my favorite now, but when I was younger I was good at it. And writing, I really loved to write when I was in school. Number 11, I started the 12th grade when I was 16 years old. I turned 17 like a week into school. But yeah, I was definitely one of the youngest kids in my grade. I didn't drive till like the summer before senior year. I was kind of a late bloomer at that. Okay, number 12, I've never been to Disneyland. I have big plans for my family to go to Disneyland in like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, when Willow can actually enjoy it, but Bentley's not too old yet. I don't want him to be like a teenager just yet. I'm thinking when he's like 11 and she's like 4 or 5, we're gonna go. I'm gonna budget for it, and we're gonna go and have a really good time. Okay, here's one of the questions that I got. Someone asked me if I ever played sports when I was younger. I loved gym class. I was not really a fan of running, but I really liked to play sports, but I did not actually play any sports at all. And I wish I had, but I did not. The only thing that I did that you would call a sport is I took karate. Learned all my katas. Okay, number 14. Okay, so this is actually a really interesting one that I just kind of threw right in the middle. I was actually bullied a lot when I was in school. I started out being like an extremely quiet person, and so I was a really easy target when I was in elementary school, and that did not fare well for me going into middle school or high school. I stayed an easy target for a lot of things, and then I didn't form very like solid friendships in elementary school because of that. I was very much a loner. And so by the time I got to high school, like I like wore a lot of black, and I listened to a lot of metal music, which I really liked. I wasn't like lying or anything, but I was also at the same time like really wishing that I could be a different person. So like if you're watching this and you knew me in high school, you probably remember me as like very quiet, dressed in mostly black, and I kept to myself, and I was pretty standoffish, and I kind of always had my guard up, but in my heart, like I desperately wanted to like listen to Britney Spears and wear colors and like dance and like laugh, but like that just wasn't who I was back then. I'm kind of a hybrid of that now, but anyway, that's a long one. So basically, in a nutshell, I spent my high school being someone that I don't think I really wanted to be. There is someone at my front door. Okay, I just had to go answer my door because my doorbell rang, and it was Bentley's little friends from across the street. So I'm back. Yeah, that last one was a long one. Sorry about that. But yeah, number 15. I actually dropped out of my senior year, and I got my GED. How do I explain that in a nutshell? I mean, really just basically I dropped out so that I could work full time. So I got my GED so I could just go right to work, because at that time in my life, I didn't plan to go to college. Okay, number 16. I've actually been to 4 Avril Lavigne concerts. I like all genres of music, but I was like super into Avril Lavigne when I was in like high school and stuff like that. So I've actually been to 4 of her concerts. I haven't been to one in a very long time. Like, I think the last one was like 12 or 13 years ago. It's been a long time, maybe even longer than that. 15 years ago? Gosh, I'm getting old. Okay, number 17. My first car was a Volvo. I can't tell you the make and model or the color or anything like that because, again, that's one of my security questions online. But I was 17 years old and I had a Volvo. I had it for like 6 months. And then my mom got me a different car. Okay, number 18. I cannot drive a stick shift car. Never learned. No one ever taught me. It's kind of on my bucket list. Maybe I'll get it done at some point. Okay, number 19. I drove cross country from Los Angeles back to Massachusetts in 2010, and it completely changed my life. I'm not going to dive too far into that one, but basically it showed me how big this world is and how small we are, and like our problems are just so minuscule, I guess, at least when you're that young. I was like 22 years old, and like when I got back home, I just was like, I don't have to work this job that I absolutely hate and is like eating my soul. Like, I could do something different with my life. That was when the wheels really started turning about me going to college. So yeah, that changed my life. Let's see, number 20. I lived on Cape Cod once. Right before my mom died, I moved to Cape Cod to be with her, and then after she passed away, I moved off Cape Cod. Number 21. I traveled the country again in 2012, and I met my husband when I did that. I came here to South Carolina, I went to Louisiana, I went to Arizona, ended up back in Massachusetts, and that's how I met him. Was my second time traveling the country. Okay, number 22. I had Bentley while I was still in college. A lot of you that know me in real life probably already know that fact, but if you're new here and you don't know anything about me, I had my son while I was still in college, and I still graduated with highest honors and a 3.84 GPA. Okay, number 23. I almost named Bentley Ryan. That's not really about me, but it is kind of, because I decided to change his name to Bentley. My husband wanted his name to be Ryan, and like 6 months pregnant, I was like, absolutely not, and I changed it to Bentley. So therefore, I let him name Willow. So Willow is actually my husband's pick for our daughter's name, because I kind of stole Ryan/Bentley from him. Number 24. I have 2 kids, which you now know from the last one. Yes, I have 2 kids. I have no intentions of having any more. God might have other plans, but please don't have other plans, because I only want 2. Number 25. I love to be organized, as you know, as I'm a Virgo, and I love day planners. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. I want to get even further into day planners. I want like a custom day planner that I have the same one year in and year out, and I just change the pages that are in it. I'm gonna get there. But right now, like, I still use like the ones that you just like throw away and buy a new one every year, but that is gonna change sometime in the next year. Okay, number 26, love sushi. People either love it or hate it. I don't understand people that have never tried it and they hate it. I don't get it. There's even cooked sushi. There's vegetable sushis. I just don't get it, but I love it. Okay, number 27, I love Taylor Swift. I know, like, everyone hates her, but I have been her fan since day one. I have all her CDs. I've actually never seen her in concert, and I really want to, but I think that I think there's a lot more to her that she doesn't show people, and I can just feel it through her music. I don't know. I think she's very authentically herself, no matter what people think of her. But I know she has to like have some level of likability in the public, so I know that like she probably comes off like a sheep, you know, like she has to be something for the public eye and everything, which I think to run a business, you kind of have to cater to your customers anyway, in anything in life, in that sense. But I think she writes things from the heart. I really do. Anyway, okay, number 28. Bath and Body Works. My favorite scent is 1,000 Wishes. And then also, number 29, any kind of candles. I love anything that is vanilla or cotton scented. Those are my favorites. Okay. Number 30. My favorite seasons. I have always really loved fall because of my birthday. I love going back to school. I love the foliage and everything and whatnot. But I also really love spring. I'm kind of torn about that. I feel like everyone loves fall. But I love spring because like after it's been cold for so long and dead and gloomy, and then everything blooms and it's nice out, and like the grass is just green and the trees bloom and they're green and the flowers come out. I mean, I know there's allergies and stuff, but mosquitoes aren't out quite yet. Like you can start to do stuff outside. It's just like life begins again. It's like restarting. It's a reset, refreshed. I don't know. I think spring might be my favorite more than fall. I don't know, but I do like them both. Okay, number 31. My favorite holidays. Halloween and Christmas. I feel like everyone loves Christmas, but it really reminds me of my mom. She did Christmas so well. I miss her so much. I wish that she was here to see how I do Christmas with my kids. But I just love the tradition of it. I just really love it now, especially since I had kids. Halloween, I've always liked it because it feels like spooky and like, I don't know, it's just, I think it's that time of year. It's just, things are getting cooler and like, it's really foggy all the time and it's just kind of mysterious. I don't know. And it's like, Christmas is coming. I don't know. And I really love to go pumpkin picking. It's one of my favorite things to do as a family. Okay, number 32. Here is another question that I got. I think there might have had some other questions that I forgot to point out, but this one, someone asked me if I've ever been hunting. Okay, I've gone hunting with my husband, but he was more so just like showing me like where he was hunting and what he was doing and his like tent he had set up in the woods, and he had it covered in brush, and like showing me the tree stand like we were sitting in it, like pointing things out. It was kind of more like he was showing me about when he goes hunting. We did sit around quietly for a while and like wait to see if we saw anything, and I didn't see anything. I didn't shoot anything, not even a squirrel. So there was just nothing. So I don't know if I'd really say that I've been hunting for real. I would like to go once. I've been shooting a bunch of times with him. But like a real hunting trip, no. I'd like to, but I have kids. And I don't know, maybe someday. Okay, and the very last one, number 33. I am currently reading the Bible front to back. I feel like I've been reading it forever. I am in Deuteronomy right now. I did temporarily skip to the end and start reading Revelations because someone at work asked me to so that we could discuss it. So I'm actually halfway through Revelations and I need to finish that. I know. And then I need to get back to Deuteronomy. People have at work told me that it's crazy that I'm starting literally from like cover to cover, and instead just they want me to just read like the parts that they want me to read. And I tried that and I felt like I didn't really understand like the backstory to what was going on. I didn't really get what I was reading. Like I did a little bit to an extent, but I would prefer to like get the impression from the beginning so that when I do get to those things, like I have the impression of all that's come before that. I don't know. That's just who I am as a person, I guess. So that is my list of 33 things about me that you may or may not have ever needed to know. Tell me down in the comments, I guess. If my comments are turned on, they may be turned off at some point. But if they're still on, let me know if any of these things resonate with you, if you were shocked by some things, if there's something that you want more clarification for. Just strike up a conversation, I guess. So, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go. I need to shower. I need to take care of my kids and get this edited and get it up for you. So I have had a great birthday. Thank you for joining me today. And I will just see you in the next video. Bye.